Hey there. Welcome to the Spring Bar. Right this way. I've got the best seat in the house.
Hey everybody, welcome to Spring Bar. Glad to have you here. I am Mike. That is Joe. That is Michael. That is Michael. It's the Mike Show. Gentlemen, how are we doing today?
I am not Mike.
You're
Doing
not
great.
Mike. So we have with us Michael Benavente and Michael Satterfield, the gentleman racer, as he's probably better known to you Bulova fans. We have these distinguished Michaels with us to discuss Bulova racing watches, the history of Bulova in racing, and
Cars.
watches and cars in general. So it'll be a fun episode. If you're a car guy, like really all four of us are, this will be a fun episode. That said,
Excited to be here, guys. I mean, there's so much to talk about with Bulova and racing and motorsports and watches in general. It's going to be a great show.
I want to say Michael Satterfield is going to be the star of the show today.
Yes. Well, I
Today
mean,
we're talking cars. I was really looking forward to this episode myself because I want to speak the least amount because I want to hear all about cars. You guys, I think, are the experts on cars even more so than me. So I'm excited about listening in on this one.
but you know, he is going to be the star of the show, which is kind of funny because Joe and I are usually the only two on the show, and we're still trying to figure out who the star is. Like, this is not either one of us.
Neither.
Yeah.
At least there's consensus.
fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
The audience has spoken.
We're going to skip past new watches because I don't think Joe's got something that really isn't worth talking about. I don't have anything new.
Oh, damn.
Snap.
Wow.
Now
Okay.
we all have to hear what this is not worth talking about watches.
I picked up a Wittenauer.
Oh, yes, of course.
So you, Michael and I will discuss that at a later date.
That's another
Good.
episode.
It's another
Do you hear
episode.
That literally is another episode.
You hear the disappointment in his voice, Joe?
I do. He and I will discuss. Oh yes, there will be
goodness.
discussion. So,
Uh,
but that's,
so we'll-
besides that, I got there's another hat. There's some other stuff, but let's forego all of that and let's get into
Yeah.
the
Get
meat
into wrist and
potatoes
drinks.
here.
Wrist and drinks.
Yeah,
Michael Satterfield.
there.
Yeah.
We'll let you go first. Tell us what you're wearing on your wrist if you got anything, and what you got in the glass if you got anything.
Well, on the wrist, I've got the Shelby Racer. It is
Oh,
Carol
look at
Shelby's
that.
birthday today that we're recording.
That-
So we wanted to wear
That
the
is
Shelby
correct,
Racer.
yeah.
This was a really cool watch that we had a lot of fun doing some projects around. So excited to wear this one, wear it all the time. It's one of my favorites in the Racer line. And then just water today because I got to drive back home after this. So
Oh,
That's fair.
see, got to get the home office.
You could have told us it was vodka or tequila.
That's true. In a water bottle.
Yeah.
the Ozarka water bottle vodka. Yeah.
Well, that just goes to show Michael's honesty, and he wasn't going to try to trick you.
Oh, this is true. This is true. What are you going to trick us with, Michael?
Well, I couldn't wear anything other than
This
the Shelby
The
watch
Shelby.
today to honor Carol Shelby.
Mhm.
Very proud of the work that we've done, with this first watch. We're almost sold out, which is crazy.
no kidding,
Wow.
really.
We are almost, it was a limited edition, 7,500
Mhm.
worldwide. I think we had, if I remember, just a little bit more than half of the quantity worldwide. It also performed very well worldwide as well. And so we don't have that much left. We probably will make another 30 days worth of inventory, and then it'll be gone. So I say that's a big success because on limited editions, you want them to go, and you also want to be able to have something else. And so we'll tease out that there is going to be the next edition Shelby coming in fall. Sometime.
Oh, that'll be cool.
And it's really, I think it came out really great. I think
Yeah,
the
I'm
team did a
excited
really
about
good
it.
job. Michael was very much involved, in helping us along on this project as well. And so it has a lot of authenticity to racing there. And one other watch, I thought just to give it a plug, is also the Racer collection. And this is the black one.
Yeah.
Of course, but these have also been doing really well. So the whole collection, the whole racing story, super authentic, and I think we underestimated the enthusiasm from the auto community, from the automotive
Yeah.
community. It's been amazing. I'm
It's
just really,
such a neat little confluence. Like a lot of the watch events that I go to, we're doing it at either an automotive museum. There's a guy who does product, cleaning product, repair product, and we'll host it at his garage. So it's something that happens a lot, at least in the area I'm in. But I imagine it's got to be nationwide that you have that just this confluence of that connection between automotive and watches.
it's worldwide. I mean, it's
Yeah.
worldwide. I have to say, it's the Shelby limited edition watch I would say in the tenure that I've been with the company, has been the most successful worldwide version, right? The only other one I would say there's one other series that does really well everywhere, and that's the Lunar Pilot. So
Right.
Yeah.
Shelby's been a nice addition to the Lunar Pilot in that term. Yeah.
So a couple of notes on that. I was just at the store here in Orlando a couple days ago and talking with them. They have one on display there, so I've been able to see it, and it is fantastic in person. I love that watch. They did say though that is the number one requested watch when everybody enters the store. They want to see the Shelby. Where's the Shelby at?
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
So yeah.
Yeah, I believe it. Our local retailers sold out of theirs pretty quickly, and I think I was just at the mall the other day, and our local dealer had one on display, and they said it was just they're kind of excited for the next one because it's their last one. They figure it'll be gone by the end of the month. So
It's
And
it's a
even
cool
if,
it's a cool watch. That bullhead configuration is
well,
so
that's
good.
what I was just going to say. Even if you don't know the Shelby history, the watch itself is exciting. It's the perfect size. The bullheads are something that you don't see very often.
Yeah.
The color combination, just like on the actual Shelbys, it just invokes excitement and it just carries through into that watch. It's perfect. I absolutely love it.
it's also super comfortable to wear. Like the strap they did is it's super comfortable. You can wear it all day long. It's a great all around watch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. On a Shelby note, when Carol Shelby passed, that was one person that I was genuinely, truly sad to hear that. If you're an automotive guy, you know the impact that he has had on
Yeah.
the auto industry. Everything that he's had his hand in for designing, the classic cars that had come out that bear his name, the cars that still have his name. I mean, the Cobras. I mean, the endless amount of replicas that came out of the Shelby Cobra, the whole racing program, the Le Mans, even down to what was it, the Dodge Shelby, that really
GLH.
weird, awkward little
Yeah.
The
little
hatchback?
little K
The
car thing,
hatchback,
the
yeah, the little
hatchback.
hatch.
I mean,
Yeah, the GLH. The GLH stands for goes like hell.
Goes like hell.
Yeah, they built all kinds of like crazy
Yeah.
Shelby Dodges in the 80s. And
Yeah.
honestly, we wouldn't have the Dodge Viper without Shelby because he was very
Without him
involved in
too, yeah.
that program and getting that program. He had the Oldsmobile Alero. I mean,
Yeah.
the thing that's always fun about racers, and I always joke with all my friends that are into racing, is like they will take any opportunity, sponsorship, anyone who'll give them an engine, give them racetrack time, whatever. So Shelby was very pragmatic with that. Dodge want to work with him, he'll work with Dodge. Oldsmobile, anybody that would give him an opportunity, he'd build
Sure.
something cool with them. And
Yeah.
When
I mean,
Lee
some of the greatest
Iacocca
cars
made the
came
move,
out.
and that was, you have that connection. It's like, great, he's with another company. I can work that.
Yep.
And you talk about the ultimate promotions, man, right?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Joe, we'll continue to train here. What are you wearing? What are you drinking?
I have it as a special moment for today. I have on the Autavia
Oh, look at
Viceroy
that. Okay.
that my father sent in
Very
the box
nice.
tops for and paid his $88, and then I was born and he stopped smoking completely. But this is a single owner Autavia that I've just had done that I hold in reserve for my kid, and I need to pour more bourbon apparently. So,
All right.
and
Bring
Mike,
up the rear. My automotive watch of choice is the parking meter. This too was limited edition. This one is number 30 of 5,000.
30.
What
30.
strap is that? What strap is on there? What does he have? A lizard? Is that
This is an old, new old stock lizard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Very nice.
The strap that this comes on is a fantastic strap. It looks really good. It's actually quite comfortable. The problem that I have is that it is extremely long, and this watch is very top heavy, and it wants to sit to one
Yes.
side or the other of my wrist.
Yeah.
This lizard strap, it holds it in place perfectly, and it's very comfortable,
Nice.
and it gives it that vintage feel. I'm drinking my elderflower old fashioned.
Ooh. Well,
Yeah.
there you go.
I love these
Elderflower.
Nice.
elderflower old fashioned. All righty.
Well,
Well,
let's get into it. So we have as our guest Michael Benavente, which everyone knows and is a frequent flyer on our evidence. But Michael Satterfield, gentleman racer, tell us about you. What is you have a media empire, for lack of a better term?
Not quite. I mean, I started the website back. I mean, you guys will remember the angelfire.net days of the internet. So it's been around a long time. Posting blogs, and back when I had to take 35 millimeter film camera and get it to Walmart on a disc and then upload really terrible low res photos. So I've been doing it a long time. Just telling stories around cars. I grew up in the auto industry, kind of. My dad still works in the auto industry. He was like interior designer and doing stuff with different aftermarket companies, developing products over the years. So kind of always grew up with cars, in and out of the driveway, and dad building SEMA cars back when I was a kid. So I just kind of always grew up in it, and really just kind of the whole concept of the gentlemanracer.com grew out of just wanting to tell cool stories about cars. So we do a lot of different things. We have some contributors that write about car reviews, and also I really write about history a lot. Just actually wrote a story about Shelby and his Can-Am series that he developed back in the late '80s. It was a really neat story. There's a collection that came up for sale of a guy who's selling basically an
Yeah,
entire race
I just
program.
want to bring
Yeah.
that up, right?
Yeah.
It's two cars and then all the parts, right?
Yeah, and extra chassis and all kinds of things. So I mean, it's literally like
Phenomenal
a whole,
stuff.
yeah, for like $82,000. So
Right.
like I don't have enough space for it, but I mean it's a steal.
Oh
So
my
yeah, I
God. Yeah.
kind of grew up in that industry and worked. My connection to kind of Shelby and the Mustang world was one of my first jobs at a company called California Mustang. We sold a lot of Shelby reproduction parts and things like that. And I eventually started my own kind of creative consultancy and firm. We became a Shelby licensee. We were making a lot of the Shelby apparel and designs and things like that. So kind of grew up in this world of Shelby and motorsports. And of course, watches are always tied into that because you couldn't ever go to anything without seeing either watch sponsors or timing equipment or anything that was sponsored by somebody or a whole series. Cars and watches just always kind of go together. So we write a lot about watches on the site as well. So.
And then so you have the watches, what wheels, watches, and whiskey event as well.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's an event that we've been doing since its sixth year now. We hold it here in Bryan, Texas. Bulova's been out the last couple times. It's been great. We've had a really good time. It's grown from like a really small grassroots event to now we've got 600 people come out. We partner with McLaren North America on it, so we have a really great selection of great McLarens on display. Last year we did a Shelby anniversary kind of celebration of the 60th anniversary of Shelby winning the FIA World Championship with the Daytona Coupe and launching the GT350. So we had some original GT350s there and Daytona Coupe replicas and a really cool collection of Shelby vehicles on display as well. So yeah, Will's Watches is a lot of fun. Getting ready to plan this year's. That's going to be in September. So working towards that already.
It sounds like a good time, and like anytime you can get a bunch of cars and a bunch of whiskey, like
Yeah, we have a
hilarity
lot of great
ensues.
whiskeys that show up, so it's a good time. We thankfully it's held at a hotel, so most people can just go to the elevator and go upstairs.
And you also you do a YouTube channel as well, and so you post up a variety of videos and
Yeah.
content.
Yeah, so we do. YouTube is a little bit of a later focus. We've started doing a lot of stuff, more stuff on YouTube. Yeah, we kind of showcase our car builds there because we build a lot of vehicles. We do a lot of really fun projects, and then we also do some car review stuff there. So it's kind of mixed content. We also do watch reviews and videos there as well. Factory tours of kind of random things that I find interesting. The whole kind of thing about the Gentleman Racer is all the subjects are just basically stuff I was into. And that's I kind of always figured if I was into it, other people would be into it. And if they like to read it, great. But yeah, I mean it's grown to its own thing now. It's a lot of fun.
Fantastic.
One of the articles that you just did was on what was it? One of the seven or the nine missing Jaguar XKRs
Oh, the XKSS, yeah,
or the
yeah,
XKSSs? Yeah.
the kind of the history of the XKSS Jaguar. Yeah, I mean it's such an iconic car, and it's one of those cars that kind of became super famous because Steve McQueen bought one used, and we used to rip around, Southern California in it. But yeah, no, the cars were in production, and the Jaguar factory burned down, so they didn't ever
Mhm.
finish production until I think 2016. They came back out and they built the
Right.
final collection of those chassis in their continuation series. So yeah, I mean, it's just an iconic car. Well, I'm very fortunate. One of my good friends has a replica that he loaned us for that story, so we had to go rip around back roads in Texas in a very similar XKSS. So it was a lot of fun.
Nice.
That's real cool. The story of how those remaining ones got made is really cool. Like they had a lot of the blueprints
Yeah,
from the early days. As the story goes, as I understand it, when it comes to the engine, they had lost some of those in the fire, so they took a collector's engine and essentially dismantled it. Then they reverse engineered the engine to remake the proper engines to put back in here, but they are one to one,
yeah,
not replicas, but you know,
yeah.
Yeah,
Like
the
it's all
serial numbers
continuations.
continue.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Jaguar Classic does incredible stuff. At JLR, I mean, they're doing stuff with Land Rovers now too. You can have them completely rebuild you a Defender back to
Oh yeah,
original specs. I mean, they're doing
the
some really
Octa
cool stuff, and,
Defenders.
and that's kind of an interesting trend we've seen in the classic car world is that, as some of these cars have gotten so valuable that you can't drive them really. I mean, Steve McQueen was ripping around Mulholland Boulevard in his XKSS, but you wouldn't want to go drive anywhere and park it anywhere. So
Not anymore.
the
Yeah.
replicas have become, the continuations have become a great way that people can kill kind of experience those cars, but not put them at risk. And the continuations are pretty incredible. I mean, it's really amazing to watch those shops. I've actually visited some of these workshops where they're building these things, and I mean, they're like surgical, suites. So there's everything's super clean, brand new. It's not your regular auto garage.
Let me know when you're coming out to go to Jay Leno's garage. I'll tag along.
Oh, did you
Yeah, no,
see
well,
Ariel Adams was
that's
just
hopefully
there?
on the list soon.
Ariel Adams
Man,
just did a thing
yeah,
with him.
he was. Brought him the box,
That was
the
a
watch
box, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Gerstner chest. Yeah,
Yeah.
we actually done some stuff with Gerstner on that and kind of collaborated that with a blog to watch, and they actually gifted that to him, which is pretty cool. So yeah, we actually built it and we put a bunch of specialty pillows in it and stuff so you could actually use it for his watches. And there's a little
Huh.
plaque on it. They call it Jay's Watch Garage. So
Yeah,
Oh,
I said it's cute. It's really
that's
cute.
cool. That's cool. Michael Benavente.
There.
Dare I mention the word Sheffield on this podcast? But they have a Jay Leno collaboration. I feel like if we're going to go down the road, so to speak, with Bulova Racing Heritage, he'd be a good guy to partner with.
Yeah, he's also very close to one of our retailers on the West Coast in LA because
Mhm.
obviously he's in LA with Feldmar Watch Company. He's in and out of there a lot too. So
Yeah.
Jay is exactly what we were talking about in a way. He's the car enthusiast that also bleeds into the watch enthusiast world because
Yeah.
there's a lot of similarities there. I mean, it's always about, the engine, ultimately there's an engine in here as there is in the car. And so I think that's also the connection amongst enthusiasts. I wanted to ask you a question, Mike.
Mhm.
What's your history with cars? Because I know that you love cars as well.
Um, I grew up in a garage. My dad was a small engines mechanics for 35 years. So
Okay.
he was very much into tri-Chevy stuff. When my brother grew up, he was into Pontiacs, the Trans Ams, and Firebirds. And I grew up with vintage Volkswagens. So a lot of the Beetles, the kit cars that are based on Beetle frames. I have built several of them. I have a couple of them in Chicago still. So it's always been a part of our family. We've always gone to swap meets. We've gone to the old junkyards. We've built things together. We restored cars. It's bought and sold stuff over the years. It's always, cars has been in our blood. It's just kind of how we were raised as kids. That's our common bond between my brother, my dad, and I.
Mm,
So
nice.
And that's without
Yeah.
getting into his Lincoln. And you should see the detailing work he does too. He's too far away to make it really practical for me, but
yeah.
Yeah, I would say. And
So
uh do you still work on cars now or there's no time for that?
so like I said, my Volkswagens are up in Chicago at my
Mhm.
parents' house. So I just over the years haven't had space for them to come down here. Um, I've gotten out of it for a while. I used to be real big in the car show circuit. I actually ran a car club for 10 years while I was up there. That was all vintage
Oh, wow.
Volkswagen based. So that's when it came to starting the podcast that it was, kind of second nature to be able to organize and get something like this off the ground.
And how
Um,
was the watch were watches also early on as well? Was your father or your brother also into watches, or did you
My
start?
brother was into watches, and watches for me goes back to when I was a child, like it does for most people. However, it was not my dad never wore a watch. I don't have that, heirloom that was passed down. My
Mm,
brother wore some things, but again, no heirloom type pieces. Um, it wasn't until probably about 15 or so years ago when I moved to Florida and I got out of cars more than I had been into it when I lived up north. And I needed something, and watches was just the next best accessible thing. Um,
interesting.
so I started with that. And it wasn't till 2020 when COVID hit that I really got into the whole social media and online presence. And that's when Joe and I met. And that's when I really started collecting really seriously. And now my brother and my father come to me. Oh, what should I buy? Oh, I bought this. Oh, I wanted to show you. They're excited to show me these watches, that they have acquired over the
I'm
last
waiting for
couple of
them to
years.
drop the Invicta from the cruise that they go on. That's when I
Yeah,
know it's
no,
really going to hit.
And we know your
no.
mom comes to you for advice on watches as
Right?
well.
So, speaking of my mother, she has a request. She wants you to name a watch a certain name. I have to uh, go back and screenshot that conversation and send it to you.
Oh, please do. Oh my God. Oh, that's
Uh,
wonderful.
yeah,
Yes.
she's like,
Not only the
she said,
son, not only the son is hawking me for stuff. Now the mom's got.
Yeah,
she
but
just
but
wants you to
here's
name
the
it.
here's the deal.
Yeah.
You know you're going to do it.
Oh man. So for me, it wasn't there wasn't a crossover of watches and cars. They were very much two separate
Mhm.
portions of my life. But now you can look at it and see how they have intersected over the years and throughout the decades. And it's interesting to see and go back, and it keeps my passion for the cars alive still,
Yeah,
being involved in the watches. So
it's always fascinating. It's always fascinating to me. Which takes us, like, we want to get into our discussion. So it's like watches and racing, and when you really start talking about motorsport, you're talking about it's all about timing, right? Who can go the fastest? And so the dash timers and the Hoyer dash timers, and everybody's got something like that. Even to the point now that Bugatti's got a couple of different watch collaborations where the timepiece comes out of the dash and all that same kind of thing. So let's get into the sort of these heritage brands.
well,
And
you want to talk Bugatti? The Bugatti Tourbillon is all the gauges are mechanical and have been made by watchmakers to go in
yeah,
that car. It's insane.
yeah, that whole center part of the steering wheel and
Yeah.
the mechanical aspect of it, it's nuts. And it's such a beautiful little bit of that meshing, and literally you're just watching the gears go together. So
And
let's
speaking of, hold on, before you go, you making
what
fun of me for my Lincoln. There was the Lincoln Cartier edition, the
Yeah,
town car
yeah.
that had the Cartier
My
watch,
great
the
aunt had
dash
a
clock.
Cartier with the dash
really?
clock. Yeah.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yep.
Even yesterday, actually, funny enough, I forgot who posted it now, but I've actually seen the car in person myself. Gucci and Cadillac.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
Gucci and Cadillac made a car together. The car sits in Florence now at the Gucci Museum, but the clock and everything inside of the dash, the entire car was Guccified, if you will.
Yeah.
Gucci Fed.
Green, red, green. They used leather. The leathers were all Gucci leathers from Tuscany, from
Even had
Florence.
the vinyl roof with the Gucci
Yeah,
pattern on it. Yeah.
yes,
No
yeah.
kidding, really?
It's
Oh
really
yeah,
a
those
cool car. You guys
collaborations are pretty
can
crazy.
Google it.
Yeah.
You can check it out. It's
Yeah,
very,
Gucci did a
very.
Fiat 500 too that you could get that had the Gucci seat belts and all that stuff. And yeah, they had
When?
That was more
What era?
recent.
What era?
the last
60s?
generation Fiat, like the later, like
No kidding,
2012,
really?
2013. Yeah,
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 I
that's
Yeah.
missed
just
that.
12 years ago. Because
yeah. It had
Yeah.
like the stripe on the roof, and they had the striped seat belts and all the Gucci stuff. Yeah,
The
yeah. Those
little Gucci
collaborations are always
badge on
fun.
the
Yeah, we get into some of that with some of the stuff we do, where we build like these themed production vehicles. We built some different like classic Fords and stuff over the years, and it's always fun to kind of integrate brands into vehicles like that. So it's a fun project. Even the beach car that we built with Bulova for some stuff was fun to kind of integrate that vehicle into kind of the racing history. So
That's funny.
yeah, but yeah, I mean cars and motorsports and how all it connects to watches and timing is just, I mean, the first race, someone had to figure out who was the fastest, and someone was timing it. And I mean, Hoyer's the big one everyone knows, obviously, like with the connection to F1 now, but even back in the 60s, I think the very first actual kind of officially automotive connected watch was a Hoyer. I think it was called a travel timer from like 1919, which was like a dash mounted clock that would calculate your travel time.
Well, you've
So
got all of the driver's watches. You like
yeah.
the Vacheron that's off centered. You've
Yeah.
got all of the angle hour watches that Bulova did, which were set up slightly, and you could see from the driving position.
Yeah.
It's been a constant that the dash clock wasn't a thing for the longest amount of time. And I know that Michael Satterfield, you and I have spoken about trying to get some Bulova pocket watches or Bulova not even chronograph stopwatches to try to get to set up something for one of your
Yeah.
pieces. And
Yeah, I have found one, so I'm looking for
right, and
looking for a
like you
second.
got to have two, right? Because you need to be able
one
to
more.
because
Yeah.
because the Rattrapant didn't really it wasn't the thing, so you had to try to figure out how to get there. And so the Hoyer dash timers are so cool that you can
Yeah, so
you have
iconic,
one and then
yeah.
you do the next lap and you try to get it around to the other things. But like when we talk about motorsport and you talk about watches, Hoyer is the obvious choice. And you start
Yeah.
looking just through the brand names because you've got the Monaco, you've got the Monza, you've got the Silverstone, there's a Daytona, which is actually one of my favorite Hoyers. The Octavia, which I have, which was just trying
Carrera,
to
yeah.
bring Viceroy back in. So,
For the Michaels, I got a bit of Hoyer trivia question for you.
ooh,
They were the first watch brand to sponsor an F1 team. Do you know what team that was?
Ooh, I can actually see the image of it. I'm trying to remember who it was.
I defer to Mr. Satterfield. He is the
I'm
expert.
gonna guess Williams.
Nope.
No,
Scuderia Ferrari.
Scuderia
Oh,
Ferrari.
really?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I didn't see
That's
that one coming either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Didn't
yeah,
see
Mr.
that coming.
Satterfield, that's tough.
Yeah.
He's tough to stump. So that was
No, I mean, yeah,
question.
Ferrari, that makes sense. So, I mean, they were always innovative and leading, and now Tag is the official watch of F1. I mean, after years of Rolex being the main sponsor. So, yeah,
Yeah,
no, Tag is back in F1, which is a huge deal for them. It's, I mean, a lot of money. So
it's a lot of money, right?
hopefully it works out.
So let's talk a little bit about timing, just from a monetary standpoint, because you've got it as there's the brand sponsor, and then you've got the timing clocks and everything that goes with that. How does that come about? Do we have any idea? Because Rolex was forever, and Rolex does airport clocks, but you rarely see other brands that jump into that. And now Tag has come back in.
Yeah, I mean, I know the deal with so Tag's owned by LVMH, and they're also now the official, their brand's also the official champagne of Formula One. So they kind of did an entire big package. Louis Vuitton's now sponsoring things. So LVMH came in with, I mean, it's a several $100 million sponsorship package to oust Rolex out of it. So it was a lot of money. Like I said, it's hopefully they can sell a lot of those Tag Heuer F1s. It's a lot of watches to sell to pay that off. But I mean, brand recognition wise, they're also the official timing partner of Indianapolis 500, and they sponsored the main tower at Indy and all that. So I mean, they're still involved, huge in motorsports outside of F1.
Because I think part of your question was, I think, sometimes the timing's done by someone else, right? So especially in today's world, timing is not necessarily always done by the title official timekeeper
Well, of
sponsor.
course. Well,
Yeah.
there's official timekeeper, and then there's who's actually doing it.
Yeah.
Right. Like in the case of the Swatch Group, like they have a company called Swiss Timing, and they like the Olympics that are coming up, they are actually the boots on the ground doing the timing. They have a whole infrastructure, a whole company that's only devoted to timekeeping.
Well, I mean, it's such a fascinating discussion because the idea of timing and the idea of motorsport, and they're so synonymous. And you always see it in the movies all the time. There's somebody with the stopwatch, and they make that big moment, and they talk about the lap time and everything that goes with it. So you run into this idea that the stopwatch was so important, and then the chronograph comes in. And so you look at particularly even the Shelby, the watch that you guys both have with the bullhead, which makes it easier to do, except that doesn't make it a driver's watch. And the only point that I make is that, okay, if I'm here at 10 and 2 to, and so that's always the questions. Like, there's the practicality, and I hear the discussion that the dash timers are a fantastic addition to any vintage car, an anti-vintage car mod. And if you want to do the racing thing, you get invited to the Goodwood Festival of Speed, and you have to have the dash timers on that. But the practicality of going up the hill and then trying to get your times as you're going through is like somebody's crashing.
In the vintage race cars, you didn't have two hands on the wheel anyway. One was on the wheel, one was on the stick.
Right. Well, even still trying to get between the two, and I'm going to push the button and then shift into third.
Yeah, I mean, for some motorsports too, they also had a co-driver, so sometimes those clocks will be on the passenger side,
right,
and you got the rally. They're doing their rally timing that way. But yeah, no, it's I think most of it is now it's almost a exaggerated nostalgia of what it was. I think most of the time, especially, I mean, if you've ever driven any vintage race car at speed, the concept
at speed, that's the kicker.
If you were actually thinking of that, I mean, the amount of actual car play and foot and hand, you're not looking at that. You had people timing on the sidelines usually and holding up boards showing you your times because you weren't really having the time to do that. Now, amateur racers maybe were doing a little bit more back in like the 50s and 60s. They'd glance at their watches, but I doubt anyone was really clicking off lap times during an actual race, because I've got an Austin Healey that's a 62 little Healey. I mean, tires are maybe 5 inches wide, pull out your sideways, and you're just sawing on this thing and trying to get. I mean, there's no way you're like, oh, let me check my lap time there real quick.
Right.
Yeah, no, I think it's a more of a aesthetic thing now than anything, but and a little flex. I mean, to have a couple of, if to have the extra disposable income to have $7,000 worth of vintage Hoyer dash clocks on your dash with a very nicely built bezel and all that, it's pretty cool. So I think it's more of a flex than anything in the car world.
Yeah, completely. Because I have to complete the concourse element of my car. Like, we all can't be Ralph Lauren.
Yeah, for sure.
I will say, so piggybacking on that, fun fact: I have actually driven a Chicagoland Speedway in a slightly detuned Cup car.
Okay.
So when you're going around at speed, you're not thinking about anything else other than what's coming at you extremely fast. So shifting the gears, doing the clock, you're not thinking about that.
You're in survival mode.
And especially in these older cars too. I mean, these cars, I mean, they were so flexy and unwieldy. And I mean, yeah, I can't imagine anyone really doing any serious, stopwatch work while they're actually in a race. So, maybe some testing and tuning, but beyond that, it'd still be pretty hard to do.
And what's crazy nowadays, in a lot of these modern day race cars, everything is monitored in real time from the pit box.
Yeah.
The amount of technology that is integrated into some of these cars is fantastically amazing.
Yeah. Well, that's what's so cool about the different motorsports. I mean, you go from the NASCAR, where there's still no data, all the way up to F1, where they can tell you every single amount of downforce on the chassis and where it was, and
moment to moment in real time.
Yeah.
And then NASCAR, you still got guys on the radio going, it feels loose in the left end.
You got the butt sensor, and that's it.
Yeah, exactly, the butt sensor.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
So, like, moving on, if we because Florida, Mike, I have to be specific. You're getting ready to go to Daytona.
I am.
And so Daytona Speed Week has been a thing forever, to the point that the Rolex Daytona is named specifically after that race. We talk about heritage models, and that's one of like the iconic watches. But there's a Hoyer Daytona, and there's a couple others that go along with that same line. So,
unfortunately, I don't have tickets for the heritage Daytona race, which I'm a little bit bummed about. That would be really cool to see some of them older sports cars to go around. But I will be at the Rolex 24. I'm going to try and stay awake for as many of the 24 hours as I can. We'll see how that goes. But they're still racing. And the Rolex 24 is described as a race that the drivers do for the passion of the race,
Yeah.
it doesn't really mean a whole lot in their careers as far as points and standings and things like that. And it is part of, the IMSA schedule, but a lot of these drivers are from Formula One, are from NASCAR, are from rally races. They come from all different walks of motorsports to run in some of these IMSA races, but they are all after the Rolex Daytona prize. It is that coveted Daytona watch with the engraving, the Rolex 24 winner engraving on the back of it. I'm not a Rolex fan, but there is some history behind it, and it does make it really cool. Yeah,
there's a flex to be able to say, yeah, got this at the. Oh, by the way,
I was at an event at Thermal Club in California, and it was a tire launch event, and they had a bunch of racing drivers and things like that there, and some really big media and celebrities. And it was really fun. We got to go test the new Michelin tires that they were running out for the streets. And we were sitting at a table, and there were several drivers who had run in Daytona. And there was this other media person there who was talking about his Rolex and all this stuff. And the drivers were just joking, and they asked him, it's like, you know who buys a Rolex, right? And they go, well, losers, and they held up their their I won't name the driver because it was pretty big high profile media person and a pretty high profile driver, but it was really hilarious.
That's great.
It was so funny. Now losers buy them, and then he held up his Daytona.
That's really funny.
That's funny.
What year is this Daytona running? What year? How many years is it now? The Daytona?
The
24. 24. They are. I would have to look it up. If I said it, I'd be lying to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's been around a while.
It's one of those heritage races, and it's been the thing that's always surprises me. And Daytona shows up all the time. It's like Daytona and Sebring are the two races, and that's the shakedown tour for Le Mans.
Yeah.
And Le Mans is I try to watch it as often as I can. It's usually Father's Day, and so my Father's Day gift to myself is. Everybody go away. I'm watching Le Mans.
Yeah.
And that is, without question, that's absolutely my favorite race because you've got all of these other, and it's challenges of speed, and it's all of these other aspects of racing. But Le Mans, public roads, 24 hours, can you make it? And the things that happen in between, that's just, without question, that's my favorite. It's my favorite race. It's my favorite part of the calendar of motorsport, without question.
So Rolex 24 this year, the 2026 is the 64th edition.
Okay.
So it'll be 65 years in 27.
Nice.
And I think Le Mans just turned 100 not that long ago.
It's been a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean Rolex Daytona, it's such the Daytona, the race is so incredible, but it's that trifecta of Sebring, Rolex thing, and if you look talking that Shelby connection too, Ken Miles was the race that he technically won, but he slowed down from like Ferrari and all that. So few people have actually ever won all three of those races, and I mean I think that race is becoming more important too. Rolex, the 24 is becoming more important because Porsche just announced that they're leaving WEC and just going to IMSA. So they're not going to be doing the WEC endurance races. They're only going to be doing IMSA. So there's a lot of momentum behind those IMSA races, and I think it's going to be a big growth for them the next couple of years.
I've seen, like, you suddenly start to see, for 5 years ago when there was nobody at Le Mans, and now you've got everyone that's coming back into it, and it's like as soon as Audi rejoins, it's all over at that point. Then it's going to become a real solid series. It'll be something that's going to be really interesting to look into and see the growth in. Yeah. And then you have the F1 connection, and F1 is still the pinnacle of motorsport, regardless of your opinion about the races. Just the strict technical proficiency in that series.
They're crazy. I mean, they're basically fighter jets on wheels.
Just nuts.
The story of the F1 movie, the one that just came out last year.
Yeah.
How that movie got funded. Michael Satterfield, have you heard this story?
About the sponsorships?
Through the Joe and Michael, if you guys haven't heard this one, so they created what was the team name for the movie?
Well, yeah,
I don't remember off the top of my head because it was a fake team. But yeah, they created a fake team essentially.
Created the fake team. They had them there on location at some of the races to get some of the
Yeah,
action
I
shots.
actually was there at in Austin at Formula One a couple years back when they
Oh
were
no,
filming, and Brad Pitt was there.
no kidding.
And so he's going through the pits, and they're walking through, and everyone's going crazy, of course, crowds. But I was a little ticked off because I was supposed to go for a ride in an Aston Martin around the track, and then they cleared the whole track so they could take Brad Pitt out for a ride, and then I didn't get my ride in my Aston Martin. So I was like, "Hey, thanks a lot,
You're as
Brad."
good looking as Brad Pitt.
Yeah, I mean,
Right? You got that. You
he's
got that
a little
star
better than me.
quality.
He's okay. Better than most, not as good as some, but he's he
Have
was
you
a little more
boycotted the movie
higher
now?
priority than me for the track time. So, but yeah, it was crazy. I mean,
Rude.
it was really cool to see that happening, and what a boost that was for the sport. Everything that went in to make that movie was so crazy, including the camera technology they had to develop and all those
Oh
things.
yeah, yeah. That's
It
just
was
nuts,
a
isn't it?
pretty cool story to make that happen.
I love
Yeah.
that movie. That was a great
But
movie.
they created this fake team that actually garnered real sponsorships. They made real merchandise. They made real models. I mean, hoodies, hats, you name it. They had it. People were in the stands wearing the stuff, and they made so much money that it funded the majority of the movie.
Yeah.
That when they opened on opening weekend, between that, the difference in the cost of the movies and what it actually opened for being an F1 movie just made an astronomical amount of money.
It may
Fantastic
change.
story.
It may change the way that they end up marketing F1. It's a fantastic story, and
Yeah,
the
and
movie's
they
okay.
say they're going to do a NASCAR version, kind of a Days of Thunder 2, maybe with the same kind of model, which would be really cool. So maybe Tom Cruise will come back as a team owner, team
There you
principal,
go.
or something.
Oh,
So
can you
that'd be
imagine
pretty
that?
cool.
That'd be funny. That'd be funny.
Right for marketing.
And the Formula One movie was IWC, just since we're talking watches and
Yes,
Yeah.
it
yes,
an
it was. It was, and the IWC connection is deep throughout all of that. With
If
the
we're
various
talking
branding,
watch
merchandising.
watch sponsored race series, Blancpain
Mhm.
had the Blancpain GT series.
Yeah, I actually went out to a couple of those races. It's pretty fun series. Yeah, I prefer the GT type series, and because I
Yeah.
like to see real cars actually racing. Like
Oh,
Formula
yeah.
One's great, but not a lot of that translates into reality for like your
Yeah,
everyday.
I'm not driving one through the drive-through.
Yeah, even like NASCAR, where it's gone so far away from stock cars, it's kind of like, okay, it's a spec series now.
Mhm.
But I do love when they're taking real street cars and converting them into race cars, because you can literally go get in a Supra that's 99% similar to the race version and go drive it around the street. So
Yeah. And a lot of those had to be homologated. I mean,
Mhm.
the Viper ACRs come out of that.
yeah,
What else is there? The Porsche GT3s.
BMW M1.
I know who is it? Manti's got a couple of Porsches that are racing in the Rolex series in a couple of weeks. So that'll be cool to see how they do. Manti is a big uh, Porsche modifier for track use.
Mhm.
Well, and you got all the Alpine stuff and Alpina and a variety of others that come through. It just the series and what people do with it and where you go, that a Barth as a tuner and what a Barth was able to do and where they were able to go. It's such a rich history. And just even without getting into the difference between the European stuff versus NASCAR, and NASCAR with its background in bootlegging,
Yeah.
So all of that comes together. It's such a rich history.
Question
Yeah.
for Michael Satterfield.
Yeah.
How much stock car racing is there left in the country today? Is there still a lot of stock car racing
Oh yeah,
circuits?
no, NASCAR's still huge. I mean, there's
No,
tracks.
not NASCAR necessarily.
Oh,
but
like actual
independent stock car. Is that still exist?
I mean, most of that happens now on the dirt tracks, and there are dirt tracks absolutely everywhere.
Everywhere.
I mean, every small town in the Midwest has at least two of them, it seems like. Um, I love dirt track racing. There's one not far from here called Heart of Texas Speedway, and that's where they're literally taking the rules are very loose. You also have like the specialty cars that are racing, like the sprint cars, but that's where you can still see like a 1985 Monte Carlo with just a cage, doors welded shut, and a guy just sideways drifting through the dirt corners. It's
Wow.
definitely the most grassroots of the motorsports
I
that you can
I
stick it
did
into.
I did an event with a band where we played a motorcycle race There's no brakes, studded tires,
Oh yeah.
going around the circle, and then also with the sidecar and the
Oh,
guy
yeah.
hanging way off of the side, and you
Yeah.
have the kids running up to the front to get the dirt in their teeth. Fantastic stuff.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely
no,
fantastic
it's
stuff.
flat track racing's crazy. Yeah,
I
it's a
love
lot of
that
fun.
so much.
Yeah.
No, we did the Daytona 500 one year, a few years back with Junior Motorsports, and we were having a great time. They're like, "Hey, you guys go got to I think it's called Volution Speedway, and it's literally a little dirt track that's surrounded in the swamps just outside of Daytona, and a bunch of the drivers from the Daytona 500 were not there officially, but were out running sprint cars and all these other kind of outlaws and modifieds just for fun. And it was just kind of crazy to see like this huge crowd at this little tiny dirt track in the middle of a swamp. But yeah, literally the dirt track racing is everywhere. I mean, if you Google it near you, you'll probably find one.
Well, I mean, you look at if you look at F1 and it comes directly from karting and the go-karts, my God, talk about bang for buck.
Yeah.
Because like you're a couple $1,000s and you're in the running, and the margin of error is so wide because the center of balance, center of gravity on those cars is actually below the like you can't flip them over. You really can't get into trouble. You've got a whole lot of benefit for that. Oh, it's
Yeah, it fits in a van, fits in the back of a truck. You don't need anything crazy.
exactly.
Yeah, you're not having to get a tow truck and a trailer and all the stuff for like a real race car. Yeah, no, it's a yeah, karting's great. Like, yeah, but a lot of the guys on the dirt tracks they end up in ACR, NASCAR, and all those type of things as well. So
Go back to your roots, right?
No, I think the other thing that where you're seeing a lot of resurgence in racing too is the vintage stuff. Again, it's a lower cost point. You're seeing a lot of younger people getting involved in vintage racing. Some of the series have been kind of like SVRA has really grown, had a ton of investment in it. So you're starting to see a lot of these vintage cars come out too, and it's great because like a lot of the clubs, like we have a local sports car club here that they do their own licensing, so it's not like you have to go through a lot of like SCCA, very expensive schooling or anything like that to get your license and start racing. A lot of them even just have basically like a amateur card you get to go run so many races, and then if you don't get red flagged or black flagged, you're allowed to get your competition license and start running. We've seen a lot of that in Texas. We've seen a lot of it all throughout the Midwest and South as well. Just lots of vintage racing kind of resurgence. It's been really a lot of fun to go to.
That mom and pop rally stuff where co-driver with your daughter and
Oh yeah.
go run on a flat track with cones set out. So like margin of error is wide.
Yeah, Solo is actually I think SCCA's largest racing like group now as far as drivers is the actual SCCA Solo, which is basically autocrossing, big parking lot, sometimes a racetrack, but you're just running a time trial against the clock. So
Yeah.
it's a really cool way to get into motorsports, and it's not super expensive.
And with the car that you currently own.
Yeah, you can again since you're not racing fender to fender, a lot of these cars don't have full cages. You can basically bring a showroom stock car and start doing competitions.
Yeah. It's such an easy way to get into it, scratch that itch, and then see if you want to go further.
Well, you can't talk watches in motorsports without having the Bulova connection. Now, Michael Satterfield, the Bulova Super V, that's you in that little film there, right?
Yes, yeah. So that
Tell
car,
us about that.
Yeah, that car. So that car was one of the first. It's the first Formula car that I've ever bought. It was in a barn in San Antonio for a number of years. But that car actually turned out to be even more special than what I knew when I bought it. When I first bought it, I just thought it was a Super V. I found out it was actually a prototype for the company called Beach that actually built that car. It was one of the first Super V production companies. So got connected with the people who own the Beach brand now, and they confirmed the chassis and all that. So it was cool to try and start restoring that. And when we started working with Bulova on the original Racer Series watch, it kind of came out of the concept that Bulova had this connection with open wheel racing in that era, the 1970s. They actually had a series they sponsored in Canada at Most Park, which is still a great, it's I think it's called Canadian Tire Motorsport Park now, but it was the premier series in Canada for Formula Ford racing at the time, which is a very similar type vehicle, and it was really cool because Bulova sponsored it for almost 7 or 8 years. It was a very long partnership, and everyone who went through the program, the winner of that championship each year, actually basically got a scholarship to go to England and drive Formula Two with a team that Bulova paid for. And
No
there's all these
kidding.
great photos and things that I've collected. I kind of actually ended up with the largest collection of Bulova racing history stuff, everything from patches and stickers to the original brochures. And Bulova just had this incredible history in that. So when we kind of started talking about how we could tell that story of the Bulova Racer launching, we really dug deep into the history of Bulova, and we said, hey, we already got the car. Let's recreate. It's a period correct car from that era. Let's get it wrapped in the Bulova livery, and worked with the team at Bulova to kind of recreate some of the Bulova racing logos and things like that. So it was a lot of fun. It was a great project. We even spent a bunch of time scouring amateur racing photographers' collections to find their original photos of the Bulova series, because Bulova didn't have a whole lot of this stuff in their archive. So we were able to actually collect hundreds of photos from amateur photographers all over that were covering this series. So it gave us a lot of extra stuff to pull from when we were kind of working on this Bulova Racer project. And Bulova's got such a cool history in motorsports in general, with their connection to NASCAR and their connection to Formula One and all these things over the years. It was really fun to kind of bring that kind of back to life in that video.
It's such an interesting little bit though, because you don't think about it. You don't think about the history of it. You don't think about, like, when you think about motor racing, Bulova is not the name that comes directly to mind, but Benetton does, and you have that connection between the two.
Yeah.
It's such an interesting little coincidence that goes through there.
Yeah, and I mean, and the thing with Bulova is, I mean, if you look, there's a great video that I know Bulova got sourced from the early days of NASCAR on Daytona, at the Daytona beach, where they're literally running around on the half on the asphalt, half on the sand. And Bulova they'd gone out and strapped watches all over several of the cars.
Right.
On the
I've seen that.
wheels, on the roll cage, and then had it run the Daytona 500, and then showed that they were still ticking. There's great photos of like these big Bulova clocks at NASCAR events and all of that. So I don't think it was a connection that people that didn't see them in period really knew about, because the Canadian series in the 70s was kind of the last thing where they were really super involved. In the 80s, they again were with United Colors of Bainton with the Ford Formula cars, but they kind of became more of a car sponsor instead of a series sponsor. So yeah, it was really fun. And also through our research, how the Shelby connection got done was, we found a photo of Carroll Shelby, which he's at the 12 Hours of Sebring, and he's wearing Accutron Astronaut Bulova watch, talking to Dan Gurney on the sidelines there. And I actually reached out to Aaron Shelby, his grandson, and they have a bunch of his watches. I mean, the watch he won when he won Le Mans,
Right.
several of the watches, but he generally wore like just a regular, like a Citizen, a Seiko, a Timex, whatever it was, or a Bulova, because he was always in the shop doing stuff. So he didn't go out and buy the most expensive watch. He wore the Patek Philippe that he won for Le Mans like once. It was still in the original box.
No
But
kidding.
he and he never really wore it, because he was like, I'm going to destroy this thing out, in the shop building cars.
Yeah,
all that
he's
stuff.
working.
So,
He's
yeah,
a
he was
working
always
driver.
working. So, and they don't even know, in talking to Aaron and the family, they don't even know if that was his watch or just, hey, give me your watch. I didn't bring a watch. I need to keep time on stuff. He would do that too. So it could have just been someone's watch he's borrowed. But there's this great photo of Carroll there on in his cowboy hat, talking to Dan Gurney, wearing a watch from Bulova. So.
Oh,
That's awesome.
that's cool. Michael Benavente, we're going to talk about the current Bulova Racer here real quick, and I'm going to throw it up on screen. So this is the racer that came out 2 years ago. Has it been a couple years now?
2 years. Yep.
Okay.
Not last year. The fall of 24. Fall of 24.
Okay. This is the black version. This is the one that you have on your wrist right
Yeah,
now, right?
That's the
Yeah,
one I
the
was.
black one.
Yep, I had it.
So this one came in a light blue dial, stainless steel, came in a black dial,
That
stainless
Gulf
steel.
colorway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Um,
actually have the brown one here too, the stainless steel with the brown.
yeah.
Yeah, and
Here's
that's
that
Yeah,
light
the
there's the
blue.
golf colorway too. It's super cool.
The box is really cool because this, and Joe wants to touch on it a little bit in a minute here, but this throws back to the old tire watches and
Yeah,
clocks.
the BF
Box.
Goodrich stuff.
Yeah. So to have this in the box with that tire surround kind of is a little nod to that bit of a history. But I want to put this one on screen. This is coming out very soon. This is a new racer,
Yeah.
a new colorway, and the keen observer will notice something different about the dial layout, the subdials in particular. This is, if I can assume, the 6S21 quartz chronograph movement in here.
That's correct.
This doesn't have the 24-hour subdial anymore. It's been replaced with the running seconds at 3 o'clock,
Uh-huh.
and then a central seconds chronograph and a minute counter at your 9. And I think this, if I can be honest, I believe this is how it should have been done from the beginning. But to do it in the kind of this British racing green colorway, I really like this. I think
Yeah,
this is really
that's a
great.
cool watch.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one came out really, really well. I mean, it looks really sharp. It's I think next week it's arriving, so we're really on time. Very topical as it's coming out right now, but
Yeah.
it looks really good. I think it's gonna do nicely with the other existing racers that we have. And yes, it's a little bit different movement.
Mhm.
I agree with you. I think it's a nice improvement.
Yeah.
Is that a limited edition or is that
No, these are standard.
going to be in the lineup?
Yep.
Wow.
And this will be the same size as the previous ones. Nothing's different as far as design goes, other than
Size is the same.
sizes. Okay.
Size is the same.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, it's a
fantastic.
good size. I mean, this guy is a good. It's really comfortable. It's a nice size.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And they are really, really nice in person. They are really cool. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how that green looks in person.
Yeah.
The watch that you guys have right now, this is the Shelby. This is how it comes. You get
You get the
model
car with the watches
and the
extra.
watch. Yeah, in the box. That's really cool. That not often do you get something like this packaged together. The Lunar Pilot comes with the Buddy, the Damascus limited edition. But
And
this
that was special for the 150th. You know, that
yeah,
was our 150th anniversary, like kind of special product. So normally the lunar pilots don't come with something like that.
yeah.
We wanted to
And
do something
this is
special.
a 150th anniversary watch as well, correct?
It kind of fell into that whole like kind of grouping. But there is more to two things to say on this. First is that if anyone is interested, and I'm not trying to do any kind of selling at all, but if you are interested, they are almost done. So we don't have a lot left. There's whatever's out in the world, and then we have a little bit left in inventory, and that's it. That'll be all 7,500 worldwide that we made as a limited edition will be gone. And so I couldn't be more happy about how this watch has done.
It is a killer watch. It's so good in person. I know that Michael Satterfield, you were involved in the launch of that at the Vegas event. And there was
Yeah.
that what the was it number one that you did the eBay auction on?
Yeah. Michael and I did a live eBay stream. It was actually a really successful eBay stream too. They had over 10 or 15,000 streamers
Yeah, I was
watching,
really
and
pissed. There was a watch that I wanted that I couldn't even get close
I got
to.
outbid
So
on one of them
thanks.
too.
Thanks a lot for that.
Yeah, when I wasn't on camera, I was over there trying to win the BF Goodrich watch that was there. They had I was bidding on that one, but I did not win. So,
Is that
but
the
no,
one
it
you
was
wanted,
a really
Joe?
great event.
I didn't want the Goodrich. No, there was it was a oceanographer with a day date that I was looking for that went way above my price range, which is difficult to say, and it's hard, and it hurts me in my soul. But it's okay. I'll survive. And someday it will be mine. Oh yes, oh
Yeah,
yes, it will be mine.
That Shelby event was a lot of fun though. I mean, we got hosted at Shelby American, so surrounded by all the actual Shelby cars, and Had a great
It
group
was
of
so
people out
cool
there.
to see that whole thing happen, and how that, and then actually you and I met at the 314 release
Yeah.
that happened shortly after that.
Yep.
That I managed to crash.
Yeah.
And
No, it was great.
maybe just to give a plug for people who are listening, if they ever find themselves in Vegas, Shelby America has their museum there, not far off the strip, not far from the airport, actually. So if you are into cars and you find yourself in Vegas, that's a nice quick trip that you can take. It won't take very long. I have a really cool gift shop there as well with really interesting merchandise, and you can see the cars actually being outfitted there, being turned into Shelby's. They have a very big window in which you can kind of see out and see them actually working there. So
That's real cool.
Yeah,
a
always a
really
good
fun
time.
spot. Yeah, really fun
Yeah.
spot there in Vegas.
Is there anything of the Bulova racing history, Michael, that we've missed?
The only thing I'd like to add
Yeah.
on my side is that we have, and I'm sorry, I don't have a photograph of it, Mike. I'll try to see if I can get it to you, but we bought 4 chronographs that came in a special box, which it was, and these were actually working stopwatch chronographs that were used in racing. They were
Wow.
literally, and don't ask me, it's new old stock. These things are beautiful. They're not in the museum, but they're in our archive. I have to get them to the museum. They came in a beautiful wooden box, and there's 4 of them, and people would be positioned out on the track, as it was explained to me, and they would be doing the splits. And it was some of the old time retired watch salesmen. That's what they would do on the weekends. They would go to these tracks. They'd have to go out to the track. They'd take the 4 chronographs with them, and they'd have people timing. So Bulova was actually timing, on the tracks. It's crazy.
Like, so a full set, a box of 4 separate stopwatches for that.
But they were not for sale. These were not for sale chronographs. These were timing chronographs that actually the salesman would go out with his, with the box of 4.
No way! I've never seen that before ever. That's phenomenal.
I never saw it, and our friend, who we all know, Richard Calamaris,
Has 4.
no, he has
12.
none. He has none. But a friend of his, who's also, an avid Bulova collector, connected him with someone. And don't ask me how this set of 4 gets to South America, but the owner of the 4 chronograph stopwatches was in South America, and we bought that from him. And so he sold it to us again because he knew it was coming to the archive, and he wanted to make sure.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
It's really a fantastic set.
They probably got to South America in the same way that I got one of Michael Satterfield's jackets.
Yes. Yeah. No,
Wow.
it's a really it's a phenomenal, it's a phenomenal story. And when I asked one of the retired sales reps about it, and it was actually in passing, it wasn't even like on purpose. I was just saying we had just gotten this, and he tells me, yeah, I used to go out on weekends, and that's, kind of half working, half not working. But yeah, it was
That's
kind of
super
his
cool.
responsibility to go take the chronographs out there and do the timing.
Huh.
Oh yeah, by the way, that's funny.
That's so cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I think Mike and Joe should start. They should do a Spring Bar podcast car, and I think you guys should sponsor it.
Sponsor a car.
Yeah, one of these cars, and I think you and Mike can take turns driving.
There, that's the way to go.
Prior to recording today's episode, I have been working on setting up our merch store. So if we sell enough of it, maybe we can
There you go.
sponsor something.
Well,
I don't see it happening.
You can always start with this size.
It'll be about that size. Yeah. Oh, that's funny.
I'm sure we can make it work.
I'm going to throw up real quick here, Joe, because I know you wanted to showcase these. Put your Bulova tire
super cool.
clocks.
Right. These were like, what, BF Goodrich. The history of those is almost unknown. They're just these random tire clocks with essentially it's a military movement, and they're so cool. And so like this was something that Goodrich would sell in conjunction with Bulova. There's such a great history that goes into motorsport that's almost unknown and unsung. And you start thinking about iconic American brands and NASCAR and it's all there, but the history is gone because it wasn't so much of a huge marketing ploy. It was just something to do on the weekends, I guess.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you look at some of Bulova's old ads, they actually ran back in the 60s. There's a picture, I think it's 160 ways to wear a Bulova or something like that. It's all these drivers all holding up their wrists with all the different Bulova watches and all
I
these
remember
classic
that.
Porsche
Yeah.
Spiders and all kinds of different vehicles all there, and they're all in their racing suits. So, yeah, it was definitely more of a grassroots thing. I mean, a lot of people raced on the weekends. I mean, the post-war era for motorsports. I mean, if you think about where Pebble Beach is now, where they have the concourse. Well, all that got started because they used to race on 17 mile drive. They used to race there.
Yeah,
They used to race at the Palm Springs Airport. I mean, Pomona, the LA Times Grand Prix, Riverside International Raceway. I mean, that was such a boom for racing back in that era. And again, you could go do it on the weekends, and there's clubs everywhere doing it. It's kind of cool to see a resurgence of those cars come back with the vintage stuff, but yeah, it was definitely just a golden era of racing.
Well, I think this was a fantastically fun conversation to have. It's
Yeah.
again, if you're a car guy, if you're a watch guy, if you're into one but maybe not the other, definitely do a little research and dig into your the history and
it's a pretty short
you know,
distance between the two.
yeah. Michael, and Michael, both Michaels. It's
Three,
All the
it's
three,
Michaels.
Michael, you've been here enough, but Michael Satterfield, it's been a pleasure to have you on. We appreciate you bringing your expertise and your knowledge and having the great conversation with you today. Looking forward to the new watch that you guys have kind of hinted at earlier in the episode. So
A new iteration of the Racer coming through.
for those who think that we know everything that happens, we don't know about this one. So
We don't know.
we're going to see it when you
Top
guys see it,
secret.
probably. Yeah.
Damn it.
But yeah, looking forward to that. Looking forward to the new racer that's coming out and whatever else the racing line has to offer. Is not so much motorsports, but boat racing. The Team Miami watches are doing really, really well.
Those are
Those
really
are
cool.
really cool in person.
Yeah.
So I like the direction that this is all headed in.
we just re-signed with E1, so we'll
Oh, no kidding, really? Oh, that's great.
have another couple of years with E1. Let's see how that progresses. They have some exciting new stuff going on. They have a new team. They just added Team Monaco. So that team will be based in Monaco, but that's a new team. And there's one other team coming as well, which has not been finalized yet. But and we'll have a new racer. We'll have a new Marine Star version second half of this year for that story. So
You heard it here first.
Yeah.
Nice.
Very cool. Very cool. Speaking of new watches, next episode, Michael, if you're still planning, you're going to come back and we're going
Which
to go
Michael?
through the spring catalog.
That-
You,
that
Michael.
you.
Oh,
You,
I'm
sir.
sorry. I just want to make sure. I thought maybe you invited Michael
It's a
Satterfield
problem.
on.
It's a problem.
No, you're going to come back and you're going to go through the spring catalog.
Yes.
Now, I
Yes.
may or may not be here for that episode. I may be at the racetrack.
Whoa. Okay.
So it
Well,
might be
that'll
you
be-
and Joe.
That'll be weird. Just me and Joe.
And just you and Joe.
I don't know if I'm comfortable.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
And just think of all the things you guys could say while I'm not there.
Michael Satterfield, can you come back?
Is it right? We need a buffer.
Need a chaperone.
But there is some cool stuff coming out of the spring catalog. So
Yeah.
I will make it a point that Joe knows to iterate some of my favorite picks out of the lot.
Not
that's
going to
coming.
happen. I got my whole agenda. I'm already thinking about it. It's going to be great.
So stay tuned for that one. Michael Satterfield, anything that you want to leave us with before?
Last call.
No, just thank you guys so much for having me on. It was a great time chatting, and always excited to talk about cars, watches, pretty much anything in that's all in my wheelhouse. So
Perfect.
yeah.
Perfect. It was an absolute joy. Mr. Benavente, do you have a last call, sir? You know the drill.
Yeah, I want to say thank you to Michael tying up his time today a little bit, but I appreciate him jumping on talking about, cars and watches with us. I appreciate you, Michael, very much. Thank you. And to you guys also. And I would like to make a disclaimer because I heard one of your guests in the last month or so ask that they thought that you were paid by Bulova. These two gentlemen are not paid by Bulova.
No,
We don't even give them free stuff.
no.
So anyway, I'm appreciative
Okay.
of the enthusiasm of two guys that are not being paid by the company. And thank you for having me on again. I appreciate it.
Oh, we love having you be a part of the family. We are just one big happy family. The Spring Bar, Bulova, everybody.
It's a whole lot
We all
of
get
fun.
along well. Yeah. Joe, do you got any last calls?
No.
Nothing. I actually
No.
have one this week. You may have caught that I said I was working on merchandise. I am working on a Spring Bar merch marketplace store, whatever you want to call it. T-shirts, mugs, coffee, travel mugs, stickers, all that kind of stuff. So we've had people requesting, hey, do you guys sell the shirts that you wear? Nope, but I'm working on it. My goal is, as you are listening to this episode, you should be able to go and purchase items of your choosing. I won't give out the link just yet, just in case something doesn't go quite right. But as soon as it is available and live, we will plaster your Instagram feeds with how you can buy Spring Bar merch.
You're going to put that on me for the next episode, aren't you? That's where it's going to be. I'm going to have to like and subscribe and get all this stuff ready to go.
By the way, don't forget to like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Yes. Well, on that note, Joe,
How do we get in touch, Mike?
hey, today, me, not Mike, Michael Benavente and Michael Satterfield, we all make up the Spring Bar Podcast. You can find us on Instagram at the Spring Bar Podcast. You can email us, thespringbarpodcast@gmail.com. On a personal level, I am 120 clicks, all spelled out, one long word, 120 clicks. Joe?
I am Watch Here UPH, all one word. Michael Satterfield, you have a variety of places that we can contact you, sir.
Yeah, you can find my stories and writings at thegentlemanracer.com, and you can follow on Instagram at The Gentleman Racer, and on YouTube also at The Gentleman Racer.
Michael Benavente, you have changed your username.
I did because I had to say goodbye to Bulova 150. I started that at the end of last year, and so I didn't feel it was right that it continued with Bulova 150. We celebrated amazing, so I changed my handle just to at Inside the Movement, MBMT for short. And I like that name only because it has multiple meanings. So it can be inside the movement in terms of watches. It could be about the business of watches, and it gives me a little bit bigger platform. So thank you for pointing that out. And for those of you who are into motorsports, Michael's Instagram and all of his handles that he has, Gentleman Racer, is amazing. You should definitely check them out.
There's a lot of fun stuff that goes on through all that. And then the Wheels, Watches, and Whiskey in September, you said?
Yeah, it's in September. It's wheelswatcheswhiskey.com. It'll be, I think, September 26th is the date we got. So we got to plan everything here around football. So that is the only
Yes,
weekend we
you
don't have
do.
football happening here in SEC town. So yeah, we are planning for September 26th.
And I've been to it not this past year, the year ago prior, and it's a great event and really wonderful people there. So anyone who's in and around near Texas there where Michael is, it's definitely worth going out to for the evening. It's super fun.
Well, until you decide how your watches and your cars intersect in your own life, cheers.
Cheers.
And we should probably add don't drink and drive.
Oh,
Yeah.
excellent. Excellent.